Dear teacher, this is the evidence for the stage number 4. We're going to start. In this evidence, we use a sound simulator to perform the wave experiment. First, we answer some introductory questions. And with that exercise, we conclude that if the frequency and amplitude are null, they don't produce sound, and their movement in the graph is null. On the other hand, if the frequency increases and the amplitude isn't zero, the volume increases.
After that activity, we proceed to make a table where we record data such as the wavelength and the period of the waves produced, according to the maximum amount of amplitude and frequency at different points, and calculate the speed and frequency of each point.
With the calculations we made, we came to the conclusion that the lower the frequency will be the value of the period. We also observed that the value of the wave speed increased according to the frequency, but at some points decreased.
Finally, we made two graphs, one the wavelength against frequencies, where we observed that when the wavelength decreases, the frequency increases.
The second graph we make is the wavelength against the period, where we observe that when the length decreases, the period also does.
We used the wave simulator to experiment with all the waves we have. We have it with respect to period and frequency and perform a calculation to find the speed and frequency at each point. We also made graphs where we could observe that higher the frequency, the shorter the wavelength and the lower the frequency, the longer the wavelength. When carrying out some tests, we observe that the sound becomes increasingly high-pitched. If the frequency of the wave increases, but if the frequency is minimum and the amplitude is motion, if the sound becomes increasingly low-pitched.
When carrying out the test with the wave and sound simulator, we had certain difficulties when measuring the period of the waves, since a wave is in motion and that makes it more difficult.
Thank you for paying attention in this evidence. Goodbye.